Hey guys, welcome to Drift HQ's video today. Welcome back, and we hope you guys had a great Memorial Day. Thank you to all that served our country and lost their lives. We appreciate you. And we got some America right here in this S14, and we're gonna do some work on it.
You're gonna get this motor put in place first, then Crick can start doing some fabby stuff.
So we had to move the motor back about an inch and a half to create pan clearance because it's a rear sump pan and not the front sump pan that we had before. Or what did we have before? It was rear sump, but it was different.
It was a front sump Canton Racing pan in there that was all baffled. So we got this pan from Odie, and it is the smallest depth of the pan, so that it can actually clear the cross member. So now we got the engine in position with our cross member in there, and now our engine actually has to come up a little bit because our neutral space in the pan, these are shimmies. It's just so we had the same distance between both sides. Yeah, so the neutral spot of our pan is actually pretty close to where this little reinforcement part is for the rack. So we were gonna move the engine up a bit, move the trans up so we can kind of keep the engine somewhat level. But now that it is rear sump, it having a slight rear wheel tilt is actually not a bad thing.
It'd be nice because it'll drain all the oil back into the pan and then the sump can pick it up.
Yeah, I'm always a big rear sump guy on everything you can. Now we can with this car. Thanks, WiseFab.
Sweet. All right, so we have Savio's S14 subframe done for the front with the WiseFab E46 rack relocation kit. So it puts the rack in the front of the cross member versus in the rear. And I had to cut out about an inch and a half of the back of the subframe where the old rack used to be. These were the old rack mounts. So I had to chop those, get rid of them, so the oil pan would actually fit in it. Now it does, it has about a 1/2 inch clearance, 3/8 of an inch clearance between the oil pan and the subframe. And then I went ahead and redid these because Savio does not have motor mounts for his LS, so we don't need to use the factory mounts that come on the subframe. So I made this nice and smooth, cut out the old motor mounts that were huge and oblong and in the way. That's gonna be in the way of my tri-wise that I get to work on after this. So very excited that this got done. It was a lot of work to take on. So if you're a garage guy that likes to do stuff in your shop, I would send this out to get done to a professional fab shop just to save yourself a lot of new swear words you're gonna learn trying to do this. And you're also gonna need a plasma cutter because getting into some of these corners and stuff is gonna be impossible with your cutoff discs, your grinder, or even a Dremel or anything like that. So plasma cutter is the way to go for this. Just for a little clearance, they have you angle it. I covered this side up, but it used to have, this was all closed off. So they need to have you cut more out, which you'll see when you try to add your lines. The rack will fit without making more room, but you won't be able to connect your lines. So I had to notch out another inch farther for it. So just if you're gonna get it done, make sure that you tell the guy that's doing it, or if you're doing it yourself, that you're gonna wanna notch out a little bit more out on this side for the rack. And also, if you're following the directions, make sure before you cut everything out that you make sure you know which side your right-hand drive or left-hand drive, depending on your S14, S15 chassis, because they have us cut out both sides of it, and you really only need to cut out the side that your steering rack is on. I cut it out anyways, because I wanted to get rid of weight and then plated it all over again, so it didn't really matter to me. But for those doing it yourself, make sure you check to see which side you're cutting first, because you don't want to take structural integrity out of it if you don't have to. Speaking of S14s and S15s, we got a giveaway going on. We haven't talked about it yet, but we have a giveaway going on at drifthq.com and lzmfg.com. Every $5 spent will enter your chance to win. You saw how happy our last F80 winner was. The next one could be you. Couldn't be me, but it could be you. So, I mean, you can get anything. Car parts, you could get key tags, new shirt, like this, new shirt. Or you could also get yourself a new hat, like this. You don't have to buy car parts. We even got other cool stuff, like flags. Dress up your garage, make it look cool. We got key tags too. Anything and everything you can think of. Stickers, key tags for your car that may or may not be running yet, but if you buy car parts from us, it could help you start your car. So yeah, every $5 spent at lzmfg.com and drifthq.com will enter you to win the S15. That is currently our giveaway. So go ahead and get you something.
All right, so I'm in the process of installing the rear WiseFab grip kit, which is nice. It uses OEM style calipers, Z32 calipers. And we are installing it now because we need to get axle lengths for this. I'm not sure it's going to be any different than our previous setup. We're just double checking before we make our order for them. And then as soon as we get this set up, I'm going to get the front end put together as well. All right, Cricket made me a nice little plate to mount up the ECU. So now that I have everything mounted and I know my lengths are all going to be right, I'm doing all of my terminating ends. So I just finished up my tail light and brake light stuff, everything in the back. Now I just have to find a good place to put my ground here for the tail light, brake light. And next I have the connectors for these brushless fans right up here. Also got the hookup for my buddies at Wire Care for these. So I'm going to set these up, run my power wires. I have a bulkhead right here where my main power wire is going to feed directly to the battery. Powered by a circuit breaker as well, so if they pull too much amperage, the wires don't just burn down, it'll actually cut power to it. And then I have my fan signal wire, which is also right over here, not in this connector, because I thought about it. I was going to run it through the connector, but I decided that if he does hit the back of the car and it rips the back of the car off, it would also pull the wire for the fan, which I don't want that to be a problem. I want the fan to run regardless of the whole ass end being on the car.
All right, so we have installed our WiseFab cross member. So we have the front rack in there, which was a lot of fun to do. I wouldn't suggest doing it yourself if you haven't done one before. No, I actually enjoyed doing it because it, made me have to do a little bit more than with directions, and I had to cut out more stuff because of the way we're doing things. So it was fun for me, and there was a lot of welding, and I like welding. So it turned out really well. I only had to cut a little bit to clear the rear sump pan here, and we're gonna lift the motor up because as you see right now, it's still a little close and it will hit. So we have to lift this motor up maybe another 3/8 of an inch.
She's got some wings up here on the top of where this mount is that are a little bit tight to our pan. Even though it is an engine plate, so our engine won't really be moving at all, it's still a concern that, if things happen, like if he hits this wheel into the wall and this shifts, that it's not gonna take out our oil pan. Optimist. We're gonna work with that. Now he has everything pretty much in place to start header fab, so we know where everything is. And what's really cool with this WiseFab setup too is that they give you this steering column extension piece. And so it adapts from the spline from the BMW to the spline from the S chassis so that you can actually bolt this up. So we are going to be replacing the steering column because this one was bent because of some very poor clearancing jobs that we did trackside when the steering shaft was rubbing. Once we get all that in place, he's going to, I think, start with the passenger side header, right?
Probably.
Start with the easy one.
Start with the easier one.
And then figure out how much room we got. And again, Cricket also cut the motor mount pedestals off of the cross member, which gives him a lot more clearance there. And now we don't have to worry about our oil lines and stuff because these already come 90'd off of the pan, which is really convenient for us.
So does this extension right here actually put it back to where the factory steering would have been, that extension?
Yeah, but luckily we have this cool telescopic aftermarket column. Yeah, we can actually slide the steering wheel back that like ½ inch we need, but honestly it looks like it's like damn near right where it needs to be.
So if you were doing a factory steering column, it should mount right up with
I think that's the idea, so that you don't have to actually do an aftermarket column, because for FD and stuff you have to run stock column stuff.
Good thing you brought that up. We had somebody comment on our video last time we were talking about Savio wanting to go Pro Spec, and they mentioned that it had an aftermarket column. So we still left the factory hole there and didn't plate over it. So if he does decide and he gets the Pro Spec license, we're able to remove our aftermarket column and then bolt in the factory column back into it.
And same thing with the pedal box, because Mona actually used to have a pedal box in her as well, but we leave all of the holes in the firewall. God forbid you do have to convert back, you can convert it back. So if he does end up in Pro-Am, he can actually run that, so he's going to be running Pro-Am. So if it does come to the point where he gets into Pro Spec, it's very easiest to convert everything back, and then he can get used to the car before the season starts.
And then save the pedal box and the steering column for when he goes Pro 1, and just throw all that stuff right back in.
Back at it, exactly.
All right, so we have removed the Mazir water pump that went on the front of Savio's motor, and we're going to replace it with the Mazir water pump that goes in the back of the car closer to the radiator. And in so doing, you have to have a water pump delete. We actually make one. This was designed by Chris. And this was the car that he designed it for, because we had a water pump that went back there in the back already, and we wanted some type of delete scenario. So he came up with this. And it has your returns coming out and then your feeders going in.
So yeah, one thing I really hated about all the water pump deletes is they had 4 ports coming out of the front of the engine. So you have 4 like 12 ANs coming out that you then have to merge into 2 16 or 20 ANs going to your rear mount radiator. So with this, you just have a 16 AN ORB on there, and you can just run the 2 lines, and these, you can see the channels in it are already connecting the upper and the lower. I like it, looks a lot better, beautiful little billet unit, and it says Drift HQ on it.
So if you guys need a water pump delete, we have them in stock, made by Drift HQ, designed by the Magic Man himself. It will get you one. Yeah. And it would get you a whole lot of entries into winning an S14. All right, so if you guys have known, I've been using a bottom of the barrel welder for the longest time, and I've really wanted to up my game, get a better welder, have something that it can do more with as opposed to one of the cheap ones. So I ended up going with something after doing a lot of research. I went with Everlast. Partnered up with them. They were able to set me up with exactly what I wanted. I told them what I do for work, the type of welding that I do, the nooks and crannies and everything, and they were able to set me up with this. They said, this is exactly what you need, and it's all here. We're not going to show you the unboxing. We're going to show you it all together. So with Movie Magic done by Joel, I got a new welder. And some of the cool features about it is they actually give you the option for a Bluetooth pedal. Next level. So you don't get your cord all tangled up or anything. This also has a lot of cool features on it. It has a strike to start. It has a remote start. It has a finger trigger start on it. Or the one that I like, the Bluetooth pedal that you can fluctuate the hertz and frequency.
You can lose your pedal now.
So this is their Bluetooth pedal that comes with the Everlast. You can order it in addition to, they come with a regular pedal too, but I like this one. Obviously it's a lot easier to use. It doesn't get the cord stuck anywhere. It has a recharging port on it, so you can actually plug it in and recharge it after every use. It's very nice, and it links right here. And the cool thing about the Everlast is it comes with the plug on the back. So you don't have to run an extension cord with a little power strip and then have all this other extra crap on there. I also got the water cooler, IGB inverter technology. So it just takes and pushes water in through the torch, which allows your torch to stay cool, which allows you to weld longer and not burn the hell out of your hand. So one of the other features I got was the adjustable torch.
Just denim.
Oh yeah, Denim Dan over here to protect it. So you have 3 lines going in. This is your gas line with your power, and then you have your hot return. It's obviously bigger than the blue one because it comes in cold, water's condensed, it leaves really hot, it needs a bigger line. So they give you all of that, makes it nice and easy. And then I upgraded the torched head as well, so I can swivel this. My other one was just a straight 90 that came out this way, and when you're trying to get into tight places, this will get in the way. So now I can literally turn this thing almost straight and go into a corner if I need to. So like going into here with this torch, you're trying to get into that corner. You can't get in there, but I can go nice and easy. It's gonna be really nice for doing cages. So very excited. Shout out to Everlast. Go check you out, some Everlast welders. They also have 3-in-1, 4-in-1 options. So like a plasma cutter, a MIG, TIG, hand stick combo. They have anything and everything you need for welding. So if you wanna check them out, go check them out at everlastwelders.com. So I didn't get to tell you guys about some of the great features that Everlast welders come with. That is a 5-year warranty on parts, and they'll even pay for shipping for up to 3 years. So you can ship out the part and they'll cover the shipping for you and send it back. However, if you're like me and you don't want to wait for the part to get sent out and then sent back and have your welder gone, they'll actually send you the parts and do customer service over the phone and tell you how to install it on the welder itself. All right, so one of the first things that I'm going to be working on with the new Everlast welder is going to be making a set of tri-wires for Savio's car. So some of the benefits of a tri-wire, it actually helps scavenge the air out of the cylinders that aren't firing. So you're going to go 1, 3, and 4, check it out. So you're going to have these two come in together and to make a Y. So when this one fires, it's going to add air and pull air out of this one. These two are going to go in together into a Y, and then from there, this one and this one Y in together into another one, which equals the tri-Y. And then from there, it goes down behind the transmission and it's going to Y one more time. And why are we doing that, Freddie?
The main reason is they sound sick.
Yes.
Right, it's the best sounding header for an LS. LSs don't sound good, but you put a tri-Y on it and then they sound pretty cool. And then the second reason, which is performance, they scavenge the opposing cylinder, and then you have 2 stages of scavenging. The first 2 Ys and then the third Y per runner, or not per runner, per bank. A good header that scavenges well will pull in fresh air during the overlap phase. So the overlap phase, when the exhaust and the intake valve is open at the same time, the good scavenging header will help pull fresh air into the opposing cylinder. Fresher air, more efficient, more power.
Like the more power, I like the sound.
Yeah,
I like it all sounds great.
Yeah.
So this is one of the perks of being able to build the car and having your tuner around, so you can ask him what he prefers. What do you want? Because I was gonna do equal length. He's like, nope, do tri-Y. So then we had to switch it around and order a bunch of stuff for the 2-in-1 collectors and do a tri-Y. Because it's always better to make your tuner happy, because he can get all of the power out of it and not have to sacrifice anything else. So listen to your tuner. He kind of knows what he's talking about.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. All right, so as you guys know, I know how to make my own 2-in-1s, but it takes a long time. There's a lot of cutting, there's a lot of measuring. You can just order one from Vibrant. They already come, already set. And they have a little bump out too, so you can slide your pipe inside of there. So for these, we're actually gonna use the springs and the clips for it. So we just weld on the little tab for it, and then it springs together and it'll pull them in together. It's really sweet. So check out Vibrant.com. They have all of your stainless steel needs, titanium, mild steel, aluminum. They got all the goods. You can always go on their vibrantperformance.com website, look up all the part numbers, and then send it to your Drift HQ salesman and say, this is the list that I want. They'll go ahead and order it for you and get you taken care of. And remember, every $5 spent gets you a chance to win that S14. In case I forgot to mention, Vibrant also makes flanges for headers. For your LS, for your 2JZ, your 1JZ, your UZs, every different motor they have them for. It's crazy. I think they even have them for the 340 BMW. They have every different flange, so you can make your own turbo manifolds or your own headers. It's all available at vibrantperformance.com. Look them up, get the part number, and then give your boys a call. We'll get it for you. Nice stainless too. Pay attention to these, don't pay attention to these crusty bolts. They're not going on that motor. This is my motor. This is a mock-up one for that one. We got one set of Ys done. We got 3 more to go. No, technically we have 5 more to go, but 3 more just like this that turn into the other one. And I want to get it cut far enough to where I have room to weld. If you look through here, it's actually flush on this bolt, this bulged out part, and then the flared out spot. But in past it, it has like a 1/4 inch of gap. So I want to make these as tight as possible. So I'm not going to use these until, actually I'm not going to use those at all. I have a V-band at the bottom. So I'm going to cut those off because it saves me 1.5 inches on that side, plus 1.5 inches on the other one that I cut off here. So, you know, it's 3 inches less space to the firewall, and I need every inch that I can get. Yeah, that's the story of our lives, huh? Need every inch you got. All right, so we are going to test fit this. I put it on the other engine just to make it easy to measure and get everything nice and even. So now we're going to see how much room we have. We don't need these anymore.
For a 2-stroke, this is looking great.
So I want to say something else about the Everlast welder. They actually have a tack option. So you just hit it and it, boop, it tacks for you. You don't have to actually set your pedal or try to like feather it in or anything. They have an actual tack option on it. So that's one of the other options on there. Plus you get dual pulse now. So the new Typhoon 330 gives you dual pulse action for titanium. So it actually pulses twice. And then there's something else that you're allowed to change the frequency from AC and DC. I read a whole bunch on it, but it's a lot cleaner for your aluminum, so it leaves less of that chalky edge around it. So I'm gonna be able to have a lot nice cleaner aluminum with the Everlast. So it's very nice. So the tack option works wicked sweet too, by the way, Joel. Look at how much room we have. So our next one, I can go grab the Y, the other Y, and show you where we're gonna put it.
Wow, shiny.
China. So we're gonna put this other Y, instead of going low down here, because we're gonna run out of room. We were thinking of going high, but now seeing where all your wires are, Chris, I think
All those wires are irrelevant
Oh.
because I'm moving them.
All right.
So much room underneath it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go underneath.
I think you should just go underneath.
Maybe go underneath. Joel, what do you think? Maybe go underneath?
I think you should go underneath.
I'll probably go
Or
underneath.
actually go below.
Go below. Ooh. Donnie. You should go underneath?
You should go underneath. As long as you got enough room to get a sneaker runner into here.
Yeah, let's grab a little. I got ½ inch between it.
It's a little hard to see, but I can hear the clearance.
You can, yeah, I can hear the clearance. That's pretty cool, right? You can't see the clearance, but you can hear it.
Yeah, if there's no clearance, the vacuum's a lot faster.
Like right here, where you can't do anything. Like Joel. Hey, how about that clearance, Joel? All right, so this is obviously going to be a long process. I got maybe 5 hours into it today to get this first side done, the first 2 runners done. So it's going to take a while. Joel is actually leaving tomorrow. He's going to go compete in DMCC up in Canada.
Everybody wish Joel luck.
Everybody wish Joel luck. In the comments, wish him luck. Tell him he's going to do a good job.
Don't pray for him, pray for that M50.
Yeah, pray for his motor. Joel don't need any prayers, but his motor might need a little prayer or two. But wish him good luck. We'll see you guys soon. We're going to keep videotaping even though he's going to be out of town. We'll have our nice little vlog camera, so you'll see some shaky hands. It's going to be me trying to videotape Chris, and then some, I don't know if we can time lapse or whatnot, but he'll see us build the headers. We should be able to get a couple more things done on this side tomorrow.
And I'm going to try to learn how to program a Link PDM.
Yeah, a lot of cool things happening. A lot of firsts going on here this week. Joel competing in a Pro-Am event, which is pretty exciting. You haven't competed ever, have you? Not for like...
LZ World Tour.
Okay. So that's your... Okay, so 2 weeks ago was
And the one clutch kicker lap when my engine exploded.
That's right. It counted because you qualified. So you did compete. You did clutch kickers, LZ World Tour, and now DMCC. And those boys know how to get down. If you've seen any of those drivers, our sweet boy Tommy from up there, Tom is DMCC. Tommy Lemaire, who is also in Pro Spec. Love the guys up there. So have fun in Quebec. Wish them luck. Like, subscribe, comment, share it with your friends. You know, take it on Facebook.
Give us a bent over kick.
Oh yeah, give us the donkey kick. Yaw! That's pretty good. See you guys later.